Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will discuss how we can test a signal from any circuit board. Either it is DC signal or either it is AC signal. How we can test it. How we can hook the test probes to the circuit. What are the points to be considered? It is a question from one of my viewer. I would like to ask you if possible to make a video to explain how to connect the oscilloscope to a circuit. How we connect the oscilloscope on a circuit. Thank you in advance. Your videos are really excellent. First of all, I am thankful for my viewer. I cannot pronounce his name because his name is some, I think maybe Russian language or I don't know. But I am thankful for your valuable message. Let's start. When we want to measure a signal, if this is signal, then one point, that is ground point. We must take a reference point for that signal. This is our output, we can say signal. And we have our oscilloscope DSO. It have a BNC connector here. The outer pin, that is ground, and the center pin, that is the signal input. Anytime we want to test a signal, we will test with respect to this ground point. What is the voltage level? What is the frequency here? We have to consider this reference point. And we will hook this ground with this ground, oscilloscope ground, oscilloscope return with this circuit return, with this signal return. So we can apply a signal to the oscilloscope. Let's connect. First of all, we have to consider some points. Either we are testing an isolated signal or an isolated signal. If we see this circuit, it have two portions, hot side and cold side. The portion which is connected in the live area with the line and neutral, that is called hot side. So this area is unisolated. It is directly exposed to the line voltage. Working in this portion, it will need a special care. While if you work in isolated area, in secondary side, that is the output side of this transformer, that is isolated. It have no concern with the line voltage. So here we can work easily, but here if we want to test signal from this side, we need a special care. Now, in this portion, if we are going to test the signal of this UC3842 IC, that means the ground of that IC will be the same ground of this component. That is the bulk capacitor here. First of all, we need to check with multimeter where is the ground point. If we check the pin out configuration of this IC, we will see the pin number 6, that is output pin, and pin number 5, that is ground. First of all, we need to find the ground. So this is pin number 5. Pin number 5 is connected with main ground, that is this capacitor's ground. Now we will test an output signal of this IC in this portion. So in that case, we need a signal return from this capacitor, that is the negative line of this capacitor. If we want to test AC signal, okay, here the input AC signal, at that time our return point will a neutral line. So we will check signal between line and neutral. It is the first point to be considered, that if we are testing some DC signal, at that time we will select the return path of that signal. I connected the return point, the return path, and I will connect a pin where we want to test the signal, that is pin number 6 of this IC. Pin number 5 and pin number 6. This is pin number 6. Now we will turn on the oscilloscope. You can use any oscilloscope. I am using 2 channel 100 MHz 1 giga sample per second. It is Rigol. Handtech, Rigol, Unity, Tektronix. Tektronix is some expensive, and other brands, but I am using Rigol and I use also Handtech. Power on. Now we have a test probe here. In the test probe we have attenuation switch here. It is 10x and 1x. If we want to test signal with some high voltage, if we are working with high voltage area, in that condition, for more safety, we will place this switch at 10x position. If we know that the circuit is with some low voltage, we can say 5 volt, 10 volt, then we will select 1x. But this time we know that this is the high voltage area, so we will select 10x. If you are working in some air conditioner boards, in some inverters, so place this probe at 10x. First of all, we will verify that probe, either the probe is working or no. Place this switch to 1x. In this oscilloscope I have test signal here, ground tab to the ground tab and the signal to the test signal, and press the auto button. It is displaying 1 kilohertz, 1 millisecond, 50% duty cycle, measure voltage. So it is showing 2.96 volt maximum. So our probe is good. Now put this switch, attenuation switch, to 10x for more safety. Here we have ground tab. This is the test probe. If we want to poke a signal directly from PCB, then we can remove this test clip. Otherwise, press it here, it is locked. Now press it, pull it back, and it will connect it to the test point. If you want to test some signal from any component, we can connect it here. Now I will connect this ground terminal to the signal return and the test probe to the test point. Now I will apply power. The probe is in 10x for more safety. After that we can change it to 1x. Now I am applying power. I applied power. Press auto button. The oscilloscope will automatically align to the test signal. This time I am finding 1.22 volt maximum, 100 kilohertz signal. Now it is time to adjust the signal because it is displaying 1.22 volt. The signal which I am applying, it is now attenuated 10 times. That means the maximum voltage level at this test point, that is 12 volt, around 10 to 12 volt. So I will shift this switch to 1x, and now I will press this switch again, the auto set button. It will display the exact value, 12.22 volt. And then there is another way. If I am placing at 10x probe at 10x, press auto button again, it will display 1.2 volt. Now we have another option here, channel 1. Select the probe type, 5x, 10x, because I am selecting 10x. So when 10x, the same probe, it will give 1 volt to the input socket, but in the software it will automatically multiply with 10. So 12.2 volt we will receive in the display. For the more safety, it is best select this switch at 10x so that the oscilloscope will stay in the safe range. Now we can adjust the voltage, we can monitor the voltage if the result is not good visible. If the voltage are too low, at that time we can select one time attenuation and we can select probe 1x probe, and now we can adjust the voltage from this voltage adjusting knob, and we can adjust the time, and we can display the signal as per our requirements. I hope so this video is informative. If it is informative, hit the like button. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment box. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.